One of the questions that is asked is these parshas that we're reading, that we're laning about, Pinchas, Matos, Masei and Devarim, they usually always fall out during this time of the Bein hametzarim time. Bein hametzarim begins from today, the fast day, Sefas Emes, Tamuz, the 17th of Tamuz, and it concludes with Tisha Beav. And we have all the days in between these Bein hametzarim, times of hardships. Question is, what's the connection between parshas Pinchas and the Bein hametzarim? It's a question. So there's a very beautiful Shela. Shela writes in Masechtas Tanis in perek Torah Or, and he says, and I quote, "Tisvoinin b'tira, contemplate and you will see something wondrous. Anachnu royim she'parshos she'im tamid b'shabbasos bein hametzarim dahainu Matos, Masei and Devarim shebem muzkar nitzuch Yisrael ha'umois v'chiluk haaretz." These parshas mention the parsha of Matos Masei. Devarim mentions how we were victorious over our enemies and the distribution of the land. And this is the opposite of the bad that happened during this time. And sometimes also the parsha of Pinchas is read in the beginning of this period of the Bein hametzarim, and Parshas Pinchas discusses all of the holidays. Why? Answers the Shela v'ha'inyan hu sha'asoimos yishavchu l'moadim. All of these fasts, these difficult times, will end up turning into holidays. Hagalus goyrem eskiyum aretz lasted, and this long exile will actually cause the land to endure in the future. It's read now to say, don't lose up hope. It will end up turning into a holiday. Ohel Moshe explains, Moshe Steinerman, he says that the parsha of Pinchas has all of the holidays. Sometimes in the beginning of the Bein hametzarim, like we said. Why? Because the Sfarim teach us when the redemption is going to be complete, Shavasar B'Tamuz is going to be the first day of the Yom Tov, of the holiday. Tisha Beav will be the last day of the holiday, and the Bein hametzarim are going to be like a chol hamoed in between.
Based on the pasuk.
They send the pasuk in yearn. These days of mourning will turn into days of happiness. Sefas Emes writes that in parshas Pinchas we learn about the korbanos, tamidim musafim, kedei la'oirer libois Yisrael sheyishtoikiku lebinyan hamikdash b'meira b'yameinu. In order to awaken us, that we should have a yearning, a desire for the Beis Hamikdash to get rebuilt so we can actually bring these korbanos. In other words, why is Pinchas over here during this time of Bein hametzarim? The answer is to teach us, don't worry, help is on the horizon. The Geula is coming, the final redemption. This time is going to turn into a time of holidays. And then we're going to have the Beis Hamikdash and be able to bring the korbanos. Something to think about. Something to think about, indeed.
The Shela.
That was the Shela, and then at the end there was the Sefas Emes.
Yeah, the Sefas Emes, right.
That was the main content. But
so both based on the pasuk, they're going to turn your mourning into happiness.
and the Chiddush of the first and last day of Yom Tov, something to think about.
That's
Something to be optimistic about.